All right, we are back. We are back with ooh, I didn't even mean what is this view? What is happening here?
Imagine if you switched over right as I was just like swearing at you, Connor. That would have been the timing would have been great.
I don't know
All
what
right.
this view is. Let me let me fix this real quick.
Hi
Hello
guys,
everyone.
I'm Corey.
This is Corey. This is Corey Sullivan. He has written
What's up?
YAFSIGA, our next backroom project. Corey, while I this won't be too hard actually. I just have to move. How you doing? Do you wanna
I'm
talk a little
feeling
bit? You wanna introduce yourself? Do you wanna be seen and not buried underneath a black bar on my camera? There you go. All
yes,
right.
yes, and yes.
All right.
Hi guys, I'm Corey. As Connor said, I am the writer of YAFSIGA. I have supplanted Matt for this particular project. No hard feelings. Um, YAFSIGA is a something that I've had in the works for a very long time, and by a very long time I mean slightly before COVID. Uh, and it turned into a COVID project that uh, I the BSS guys generously picked up when I pitched it to them. So, where would we like to start first with
So
questions?
I get I could pretend like I'm asking you questions even though I know everything. So
Yeah, fair enough.
what is essentially what is Yafsiga? Is it a skirmish game? Is it
Yes.
a let's get army game? Like is it a mass battle game? Like what if I'm a miniatures game guy, I'm like I want to play a game, sir. Um,
Sure.
what
So,
what's what's the game like?
so YAFSIGA is a fantasy skirmish game. If you were familiar with any prior BSS products, which you're in this chat, so you probably are, then a lot of things will be familiar to you. A 2x2 playing surface, small miniature counts, really close combat that is very narratively driven and prone to cinematic moments of glory and valor. Where Yafsiga differs from everything else, let's get the biggest difference out of the way, is the absence of dice. It is a diceless system, uses a poker deck to resolve things. If you're familiar with games like Malifaux and Relic Knights, then you'll be right at home. But if you are not, then welcome to the space. There aren't enough games that don't use dice, and this is another one.
Mm.
Uh, force
I've been
composition is.
itching. Sorry, I've just been
Oh,
itching to buy poker decks because
yes.
Bicycle makes some really cool decks. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have like seen him, but I've been
You were
itching now
you were
for
playing
like
with one earlier. You want to show that off the back for it real quick?
yeah. I've got two. I picked up one nice red and black theme.
Ooh.
Um, it's
And
pretty
this is
nice.
something that I didn't know about Connor, by the way, that he like was into poker
I've
decks.
been I've never had an excuse to buy them before, so that's one. I have another one. I don't like them as much,
Ooh.
but it's pretty nice. It's like a nice deep red and black. The problem is they did like a faux vintage pattern on the faces of the cards,
Oh.
which like kind of looks cool, but like I don't know. I feel like I need to wash them or something to get like actual vintage on them. Anyways, we'll be using the other one. But yes, we
Sweet.
now have an excuse for me to spend too much money on playing cards. Um, I'm excited. Uh, it comes with the playing card deck, and also, you want to explain this deck while we're at it?
Yeah, where are we looking?
Yeah,
Uh,
it'll
There,
be the
aha.
deck you
there's a bit
gave.
of a lag with stream, so if you
Yeah, I'm
have
trying to
extra
figure that out
questions,
and
yeah,
juggle that around
this
my
is what
monitor.
I this is you'll get used to it eventually.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So the
so it's 32. Well, I mean, it's 32 mil, right? But is there a scale specifically?
yeah,
28 to
not
32.
necessarily. The initial so the rule set was written well before any sort of theme was in place, and as such, I kind of went for the generic 28 mil because I assumed that those were the miniatures that people had at their
Mhm.
disposal. Part of the reason why we went with fantasy is for the similar reason. There's so many different fantasy miniatures that people buy and want to play with, but don't have a
Right,
system or have like disparate systems to use them in.
right.
So I figured this was a good reason to write it in this particular niche. Um, So yeah, it is a to answer your question, it is a 28 millimeter game. You can use things on 25 mils, 32 mils. There's a whole silhouette system that allows you to kind of expand out in however big or small you want your minis to be. They'll get a little statistical buff or debuff depending on how big or small they are. Um, but yeah, 25s to 32s is the norm.
Yeah, cool. I like
To
that's the
to
scale I
rewind a
like.
little bit, the deck that Connor showed off is a prototype for a random scenario generator. Everything from your deployment to what your objectives are, to what kind of special twists the mission will have, to side objectives, it all gets determined randomly, or semi-randomly, I should say. Well, thanks, buddy. That looks
With
What's
good.
that?
some incredible. This is I think I've mentioned it before, but Corey came to us and was like, "Hey, I have this game." And we were like, "All right, let's see the Google Doc," which he did give us a Google Doc, but it was like beautifully formatted. And then he's like, "Hey, I want like a random scenario deck generator," and we're like, "Yeah, cool, we can do that." And then like this just shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I went ahead and did it." Like, okay, well, didn't
It
have
was
the
it was
job.
something where I ordered it for myself to have something nice to test, and I was like, but I can order two of them. I can send one of them to Connor.
I have
And so
power.
yeah, with the power of my wallet, I too can get some prototype decks.
They're
So
beautiful.
the game
Thank
is
you.
diceless, right? So you use the
Yes.
poker deck to resolve essentially what you would use dice to roll if you're attacking and various other things like that. It plays on a 2x2. How many models usually do you have per side?
So, actually, Connor, do you want to bring up the roster sheet and I can use that as sort
Yeah,
of a visual aid?
yeah.
Okay, sweet.
I'll get this in.
So if you guys are fans of Mordheim or
I
those
got
types of
this.
similar games where you build a roster out and build your warband out from scratch, this game you start with a completely blank roster of profiles. Each player gets four profiles at the start. You have an ace, a king, a queen, and a jack. Always those four. However, you get to decide how big or small that those units are, whether they are a single model or a unit of three, a squad. So, to answer your question, your warbands can be as small as four models or as large as 10, and then somewhere in between, as you can see here.
Mhm.
Yeah. What Connor's showing off is a one of my pre-written rosters. If you pick up the rule book, you'll get a couple of these so that you can just pick it up and play and not have to worry about warband building if you don't want to get into that right off the bat. However, um, it's part of where the fun is, so you'll want to get into it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And I guess it's worth noting here the ace, king, queen, and jack.
Mhm.
So not only is your RNG based on the decks, but also a bit of the gameplay, like your activations, right?
Yes. So the way the poker deck is utilized is that it is broken down into a couple of different stacks. You've got two stacks of what are considered court cards, which are what you're showing off here in the camera: the kings, the queens, the jacks, and the aces. And then each player gets one joker. One player gets the red cards. One player gets the black cards. Um, the rest of them are shuffled and set aside as what's called a chaos deck, and that's essentially your RNG. Your whether you would normally be rolling dice, you're instead revealing cards from the top, and they're determining your outcome of success.
So, and with that, and guys, we will be building and starting around. There's a little bit of actual like poker bluffing slash statistics involved, right?
Yeah.
Because as you and your opponent are playing these activations, you know which character hasn't activated. You have the chance they use the Joker as the wild card, and guys, we'll get into this minutia later.
Yep.
But as you use the RNG deck as your flip cards, if you, I mean, I dare say, if you could count them, then you can start stacking your chances for success.
I was gonna ask if you're like some like card counting master. Is it gonna be like should we be bringing along like casino level like AI machines to like do the casino like like to
We
like
we
stop people
had
from
we
So
had a little
cheating.
bit in playtesting of card counting going on, and it was really
That's
interesting to watch
hilarious. I love it.
how strategy changed as the deck got
Yeah.
thinner and thinner, and as you were able to see what cards had been
Hmm.
revealed and used, people started to take risks less, or you know, potentially hit harder because for every test there's also an armor save,
Right.
and if you get that really nice test, then the armor save might fail based on what's there. So risk
Right.
and reward.
Yeah, that's
Um,
just part of the strategy of the game, though.
And
It's like,
it's so
yeah,
exciting from just like, I mean, goodness, Lunar, Ben and I's child is D6s through and through.
mhm,
And
yeah,
there are times where I'm like, oh, now I just roll another D6. Oh, I'm just rolling a
right,
D6.
right.
mhm.
To have that sub strategy ingrained in the game, I think is going to be pretty fun. And I have never played any non dice based games. I am one of those plebs. So it's a new concept for me, at least.
Nice.
Yeah, it's quite new for me too, because I'm like pretty classic with my gaming like repertoire. Really, like someone like Matt has played so many games. Like
Yeah.
if you ask that guy about a game, and if he's still in chat, he'll probably attest to this. But he's played maybe everything. I don't know. He's played a lot of stuff. Um, Whereas I've kind of played a lot more like D6 based stuff. I haven't played a lot of RPGs over my time, so I haven't really used a lot of D20s, all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of newish for me as well.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's really not really much of a tapped mechanic in
mhm,
in our sphere. It like I can name the number of games that have it on one hand,
mhm,
and that's it. So
yeah, it's a
So,
I
it
mean,
it could
it's cool.
stand
I'm excited
exploration.
to play it.
Yeah.
which maybe leads us into YAFSIGA. Uh, drop my water cup. Don't
Oh
worry
no.
though. Did
Did
it
you
break?
drop
There's
it?
just
Did it smash everywhere?
not at all. I just don't have
Wow.
any water. Let's talk about one, surface level. What does YAFSIGA stand for? And then two, what is the world of YAFSIGA? So let's go from practical to meta with that.
Good question. Yafsiga is fantasy gibberish, but really it is yet another fantasy skirmish game. So Uh, we know there are many out there. This is another one, and we're hoping that there's enough mechanical chutzpah to uh to make a splash, so to speak.
Yes, I
I
think
That was the working title
That
for
was the
so
working
long,
title,
and
and I
it
I
was
pitched
like
a couple a couple
we
options of like, do you want to
we
change
were
this?
like, yeah, we were like, hey, here's some ideas. Would maybe we do this? And I was just like, you know what, Yafsika actually like it sounds cool to me.
And it
Like
works.
we got so used to just calling it Yafsiga, Yafsiga, and it's like, I mean, it would kind of suck if it's actually in a different language. It's like some really offensive word.
I
I did do some searching, but
Yeah, I ran it through Google Translate and nothing bad
yeah.
came up. So if anyone reaches out and corrects us, um I'm definitely
it's
happy to comply, but
Yeah.
until
it's
further
so
notice,
bad they call it the
unfortunately.
Y word. Oh shoot, this
Right.
game is
Yeah.
the
It's
Y
just like,
word.
yeah,
That's why
it's
it's
like,
not
Oh
showing up.
no.
oh man, that'd be funny. But
Terrible.
as a to
Also
our
funny.
knowledge, it is a completely made up word.
Yes.
And it's there is a even though it's yet another fantasy skirmish game, there is a really rich world that we're building
Yeah,
with Kosu around the game. If you want to give people a bit of a broad overview of what this world looks like and what
sure.
they can expect.
So let's cast our imaginations into a low fantasy realm. Think, either Witcher or something a little lower, Middle Ages. A lot of city states, nothing a little larger than that. And there's one particularly vibrant kingdom that, through mysterious circumstances, undergoes an event called the Bloom, which the castle in the center of this kingdom called Yevseo, it detonates, and a massive aurora spills out and corrupts everything it touches, and just seeps through like a tide uh, into Yevseo. Just like every possible border is touched, in some way, shape, or form. It's a massive disaster. And over time, people evacuate, people leave, and as the aurora stretches out, it ebbs back in, out and in like a tide. People realize this, and this massive tract of land that was once a wealthy kingdom is starting to get incurred upon by small little warbands of treasure hunters and knowledge seekers and brigands, mercenaries, everything you can
Mm.
think of, all trying to stake their claim in this essentially a really dangerous exclusion zone. It's
Yeah.
essentially Chernobyl in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Um,
And the
Three three point
fascinating thing.
two 3.2 Rota YAFSIGAs.
yeah,
YAFSIGians.
Yevsigas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only 3 point, what was it? 3.6 Rodkin or whatever they
yeah,
said at
three
that
point
show.
No,
six
it's
Rodman.
3.6 Rod
Um,
or
it's not
YAFSIGAs.
not bad, not bad, not good. So
Not great, not terrible.
the interesting thing is, oh man, there's so many memes that we're gonna
Yeah.
make about that. That's gonna be great. Um, it's really interesting because the visual style that we're developing for this
Mhm.
is that it's when you think about Chernobyl and Stalker and exclusion zone things, you think of something that is desolate and dark and uh, you know,
Wonderful shades of brown.
depressing. Yeah, depressing looking. There's no color, but what this area, the reach that has covered the land is vibrant and full of color
Yeah,
and beauty. The way that I've been describing it to people and the way that I as as I'm working on the art and things like that is that it's like when you look at a insect or something that is poisonous, they're always very colorful and vibrant to
yeah,
warn you away.
yeah,
And that's kind of the 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 visual language that we're using for this world
yeah.
is that instead of it being this desolate radioactive looking land, it's there's still fields of flowers and these vibrant things, but juxtaposed on that is the the violence that is going on in this area,
Yeah.
you know. So like you said, there are war bands of people that are venturing into this zone, um, and what they're trying to loot it. Are they try? I mean, it's a bit of everything, really,
Yeah.
right? It's
It's, some come for fame and fortune, some come to uncover secrets, some come to claim territory back, carve out sections of the Reach for their respective, kingdoms and fiefdoms.
mhm.
Um, every different warband could have any number of motivations for being where they are, but yeah, at the end of the day, they come into conflict, and one of them walks away. We're
Two
looking at some
men
art.
enter and one man
Yeah.
leaves.
Yeah, I just wanted
Four
to
to
show
ten
off a
men
little bit.
enter on each side, and
So
maybe some leave. Maybe.
the I guess we'll chat a little bit about, you know, uh, this is the book will the current plan is will be a hardback book.
Mhm.
It's got it'll have all the rules involved,
Yeah.
and that's mostly what you'll need. You'll need the hardback. You'll need the deck, the random generation deck.
Yeah.
Um, we will have some miniatures released on launch, but um, we fully understand that everyone has fantasy miniatures. So, we want to make sure that this game is really enjoyable to play, that the book is really,
The
really
core.
cool, really, really polished, and, you know, we're going to have a lot of fun with the creative side of it, make it something really
Yeah.
that can really stand out. Both Corey and I are really excited to show you guys what's on the inside of that.
Oh yeah.
And when it comes to the miniatures, yeah, we'll have some great minis. They're going to be awesome, but we also know it's not like something like Don't Look Back or Violent Dark where people won't have collections of miniatures for that game. There'll be a lot of people that'll be like, I just want the rules, So
Mhm.
um, it's going to be a bit of a different backroom project. The goal is going to be to make the book the best it can be and to really to make that shine. but I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it too.
Yeah.
So if you're curious about the time frame for this, the current time frame for when this is going to go live is going to be late May, early June is what we're looking at. There's still a few things that are in flux right now
Mhm.
that we're working through. We're doing a lot of editing. I'm doing a hell of a lot of art, a lot of sculpting, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the time frame we're looking at. The second that we can, and if you're familiar with how we go about this, the second we can announce a date, we'll announce it. And I would imagine sometime in the next week or so, a couple of weeks, we'll be able to do that, which is great. So we're super excited. This is honestly something that we've been collaborating with Corey on for a while now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really exciting this is going to be your first game that'll be
Yeah.
published.
Not gonna lie, I am super excited to have this
Yeah.
on stream. This is
Yeah.
great.
Um,
It's
on that point, why don't we just jump into building out a warband and we can talk people through how that works and we can
Sure.
play a round or two.
Yeah. To note, we will be uploading this to YouTube. So once we get into the game, we will attempt to stay focused. If you've seen the streams, you know that might be easier said than done. But in between kind of sections, if you guys have any questions about the setting or the lore or the backroom event, basically anything we touched on in the past 10 minutes or so, shoot them in chat and we'll try to answer them. But we'll get to, as Corey mentioned, the rulebook does have some pre-generated warbands, but we're going to go through the steps of generating one of them just so you can kind of see how that looks. Then we'll use the pre-generated for the second one. We'll use the deck to pull out our scenario, deployment motives, all that sort of thing, and then we'll get into round one. So, Corey, I guess I'll just take this blank one. This extremely heavy card stock. Where did you get this done, by the way? Like,
Staples.
yeah? Did you
I
just say,
ordered...
I want the thickest paper you have that's not cardboard? Because this is like 200 pounds, I feel like.
I wanted it to be very durable.
This thing, like that has a sting to it. Like, there is some...
You could hurt somebody with it if you care,
Yeah.
if you wanna.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited. It's laminated. I'm excited to get some marks on this. So that's the wrong one. I guess first things first. Where do we start?
Okay.
Do we start at the top of the sheet? Do we start with the sheet even?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
let's just start with our ace, which is the first entry at the top. You'll have 4 profiles to construct. First thing you want to choose out of it is what kind of ace you want to be. Each profile gets a free archetype, which kind of gives them a unique ability of their own choice. They can grant extra boons to other characters, they can get boons for themselves, they can count as more models for the purposes of holding objectives in the case of like a Hearthguard or something. But you get choice. The character creation section actually lists what profiles can take what kinds of archetypes. The aces, which is our first one, they have to be a solo. You can only take a 1 model unit for your ace, and they also get some extra archetypes to choose from. Now, my usual go-to is a Thane, just because it's the basic one. It gives everyone an extra willpower when they're within a certain degree of influence of him. But you can do a Thane, you can do a Tyrant who gets to intimidate other people. Thane is a good choice. Okay.
I kind of what is there Thane Tyrant? Because I like the intimidation. That seems like my kind of leader.
So Tyrant,
It really does.
if you wanted to intimidate somebody else, you could do a Wizard if you wanted to be a spellcaster, or you could do a Null if you wanted to prevent your warband from receiving status tokens and status effects. It projects a ward within itself. So
I take it back. I'd normally be a wizard. For sake of the stream and simplicity, I will go with Thane, though. I'll go with the OG. I'll stick with him here.
okay. So
he comes with some stats here, right? Like,
So this is the next
innately?
part. We get to fill out the stat block, which is the move via skill will. So move always starts at 4. Yeah. And then your fizz, skill, and will, you are given a 7, 6, and 5 to distribute between those as you choose. So if you want them to be particularly gifted at a stat, you probably want to put the 7 there. 6 is a good midline, and then 5 is less than stellar.
I mean, I'll go with 7 for.
Yeah.
What would I use skill for?
Skill
Is
you would use for ranged attacks. You would use to interact with some objectives depending on the scenario. You would also use that to prepare if you wanted to like dodge an attack. You would be taking a token that would let you dodge, and you have to succeed at your skill test to do that. Will is good for casting spells, and when you're downed, it's the stat that governs whether or not you get back up. So
okay, so I'm gonna put 7, 5, and 6. I think.
sure.
I like the idea
Um,
of being the brawler, but also picking myself up when I go too far. So
I like that. All right,
okay.
for your armor and vitality, those are two different types of saves you can do. You get to put 1 in either armor or vitality and 0 in the other.
Mm.
Like armors.
Sure.
Corey Melgirth 666, which is I love that name for some reason.
Yes.
It's asking, does the game work with more than 2 warbands?
It's
I'm
been
assuming
designed,
it's can you play with more than can you play
yeah,
with
with more than
3
two
4 people?
players.
Yeah.
It's been designed for use with 2 players, and the random scenario dinner currently only accounts for 2 players. However, there is nothing stopping you from taking a second poker deck, splitting it out again, giving those 2 players an additional set of court cards, mixing those 2 decks together to have an extra big chaos deck, and just having at it anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing
So there you
stopping you from doing that.
Which
I would
honestly is
probably,
why I bought 2 decks. Because I thought, let's scale this up.
yeah.
go. Yeah, it'll be fun.
It's a good question though, and I think in the future I'll probably write some specific 3 and 4 person scenarios
Mhm.
for those exact instances because multiplayer is great,
Yeah.
and I'd
Maybe we'll
like to
wrap
design
that
with
up.
it in mind.
Maybe we'll wrap that up into the backroom event.
It's not a
Maybe
bad
I will.
idea. It's
Maybe
not
we
a bad
will.
idea at all. Thanks for asking, Melgar.
For the people that have lots of friends,
Yes.
you
Yes.
can do that.
So our volume, I assume we're all playing with 25 mm figures, so their volume is medium, which is the default. You do actually get a choice of building with smaller or larger volumes, which everything works in a cylindrical system to account for everybody's got their own miniatures, and this is the best way to do it. It's your base, and then it's a certain height, and then they just have a cylinder for that. And medium is a good baseline of 25 to 32 mm base, and then 40 mm height. So
There is a
that,
man here in these minis that's on looks like a 32. Do I need
yeah.
to account?
So
Can he be my thing?
yeah, totally. He can be
I'm
whatever
gonna-
you want him to be.
Just-
Um,
Follow your dreams, Connor. Can be
This,
whatever
this,
you want.
this boy's
exactly.
looking good.
All right.
Wide
What
stick.
kind of? He's the guy with the big two-handed sword, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet. So normally the cost to build everybody starts with 20 renown, which is basically like the amount of points you have. It costs you nothing to fill out this first line that we just did. Um, After that, purchasing any gear draws from your renown pool. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to decide what kind of primary weapon our Thane has. What's he armed with as far as a sculpt is concerned?
Well, you're right.
The-
So this game is WYSIWYG.
Yeah.
All right.
It
All
can
right.
it can be.
It would. I mean,
Really,
it
you can.
seems like a great sword or a broadsword, right?
Sure.
Two-handed, something like that.
Yeah, so you can you would then start to select equipment to give to him, and in this particular case, he has a two-handed weapon. So I'm gonna pull up a stat block here, and we can just fill that in real quick. So
If it's easier for me to change my mini choice, I can do that too.
either or, the system for building your characters is very much like if you want to build based on the sculpt you have, then you can just build that way. Or if you'd rather build the profile first and then pick a mini that suits it, that works as well.
Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, I do like this big boy as my leader, so I guess we'll
Sounds
stick
good.
with it.
Yeah. So you can put two-handed weapon in the primary slot. Ah, yes, Dark Harbor, hand and a half. You're not wrong. All right. The W next to it is its weight. Characters can only hold an amount of weight equal to their fizz. So in this case, he can hold up to 7 in weight. A two-handed weapon is weight 3. So you'd write a 3 in the W box.
Okay.
Yep.
Range, I guess, is next.
Yeah.
Is it is melee? Is it base to base? Is it within 1 inch? How does it work?
It's within half an inch. So you just write 0.5.
All right. Fist. Black
This
site terrain.
exactly. Your BST or your burst is how many attempts you get at a successful attack. A two-handed weapon gets a burst of 3.
Interesting.
So you'd write that in.
How much
Plus
MDF
power.
terrain can you throw at a man? That's
Exactly.
We are now
We
playing
now
Crisis
need-
Protocol.
We're gonna need
3
a sculpt of a really muscular guy just throwing like a full what's it the ship the
The
That can be
MV
Australis.
Australis.
yeah, exactly. It's like falling apart as he tries to throw it.
Yeah.
Your power is how hard your weapon hits, and for a two-handed weapon, it's a +4.
Interesting.
Damage, I'm assuming.
Your damage, it's 2 slots. The first one is normal damage, and the second is critical damage. A two-handed weapon is normal damage 2, critical damage 4.
And does that have any keywords? Is that for the weapon?
Yes. So a two-handed weapon has the cumbersome keyword. It means you can only attack with it once per activation. Normally, you get 2 simple activations. An attack is 1 simple action. So you could only attack with it once per activation.
All right. And then upgrade. So this is going to be gear and
Yeah.
things that increase stats potentially.
Yes. So this would be normally where you put everything else that you buy to put on your on your profile. If you
Gotcha.
want to put a thing or two on, we can do it, or we can move on to the king for
Let's go
levity's
through
sake.
the. Let's use the first things upgrades. So the Gambison.
Mhm.
I don't know how to. This is one of those words that I've always read, like macabre. I always want to say macabre,
Macabre.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's how I read. Anyways, Gambison, is that correct? What is
Yes.
a Gambison? Enlighten me.
A gambison is woven piece of armor. It's like a cloth armor where multiple layers are laid on top of each other. It was a very I wouldn't say it's common, but it was more common than plate mail and chain mail in the Middle Ages and
Okay.
beyond. And it did a fair job at stopping most attacks. It was a very effective piece of armor. The gambison gives you an extra +1 armor.
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna reach up here to my stat and do that. Then.
Yeah, and that's why we have a dry erase
That's
or
why
wet
it's
erase.
all right. So armor. I now have +2 armor.
Yes,
All right. Next thing on this list is a breastplate,
yes.
which
It
is
gives you
this
an extra
guy.
armor.
He is shirtless. We're gonna hand wave that one away for now.
I'm gonna say he has muscles of iron.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that dude is so swole that he can stop anything.
Yeah,
Anyways,
the
after this,
muscles
yeah.
grab onto the sword. It's like grabbing on each
It's
side
like
with your
swings
hands.
and it's like
But it's his
grabs it.
pecs. His pecs
Yes.
grab it. All right,
Yes.
so that's another plus armor. So am I going to be +3 armor?
Yes, you are.
Okay. A shield. Let's not use a shield because he definitely doesn't have a shield.
Sure.
A poultice. Is that like a health potion?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's
So that's an
a
item
one.
you can use.
Yes, it's a one use. You need to perform a will test to use it. And if you're successful, you heal 3 wounds from yourself or a friendly unit within 5 inch or within a half inch.
Oh, so I can just like lob the bottle at my mate and just like
Mhm.
if it explodes on him, he's like invigorated by it.
Yeah, it's like a cloth with like an ointment on it, and if you throw it, it just and she's like, "Oh, I feel so much better." Oh,
It's like Mad Max when they
basically
spray
just-
the silver spray paint. They're just like,
It's
oh,
like meth.
Valhalla.
It's like medieval like meth. They're all just taking drugs and fighting each other.
medieval.
We need to create a bingo sheet for like bin references. Like the free space will be imagine being the blank, just for any sort of thing. But then like meth would be up in the right hand corner. I think
Yeah.
that's something we need to get on bin. Top priority. Last item is
I'll do it
physical
right now.
training. Looks like.
Yes. So it's training in general is what what the actual trait is, but it's just you increase that stat by 1.
He is an 8 fizz.
Yes.
Beefy boy.
It's important to note that when building a profile, you can only take an instance of each entry once. So you can only take 1 Gambeson, 1 breastplate, 1 poultice, and 1 instance of training. So if you choose training physical, you can't choose training willpower again on the same profile. You've locked in your selection, and that's partially why. Oh,
So
yes.
is there like respecking, or is like if my person dies, can I put in, or is this entirely one-off games at this point?
We're doing a one-off game, and
Yeah.
it's locked. In
Gotcha.
the terms of narrative play and that sort of thing, there's definitely a certain amount of respecking that can happen, especially if somebody takes injuries and needs to be retired.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll focus on the one-offs for now. But yeah, we've successfully built our first profile.
Look at that.
Built my
What's
ace.
his
so
name? What's his name, Connor?
Gary,
his name?
Gary.
Gary.
What's the spelling on that? Is it Gari G-A-R-E-E-I?
No, just Gary. He's like real ahead of
Okay.
his time. Gary.
It's really, he's really just like,
But it's
Gary.
pronounced with an F in the middle. So, Gareth Gary.
Gareth Gary.
what?
Gareth Gary.
just
Low key,
watched-
putting an F in the middle of that sounds like something from The Witcher. Oh,
Gareth
Gareth
Gary.
Gary. Anyways, okay, a king. All right, so
Yes.
is this my leader? Is the ace my leader?
Yes. So
Okay.
aces actually get an additional upgrade for free called command, and you can write that in as a reminder. But and they also receive an additional point of health for free.
Oh, I see.
Part
This
of-
guy's 4, and up here we have 5. But he can't be a squad. That is so he is the leader for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least the coordinator.
All right.
So your
He's
king.
he's the branch manager,
He's
the middle manager.
the assistant. He's the assistant to the commander,
Yeah.
but not the assistant commander. Okay, anyways, okay, king, my second in command, I assume.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
so we can pull from a large variety of solo archetypes to choose from. If you want to have something that's a little more tanky, you can choose a knight who just prevents non-critical damage from hitting him as hard. Similar to, a guardian. The knight does something else. It's martial prowess. Anyway, you can do a knight, you can do a guardian. If you want to have somebody who can heal, the cleric is a good option for that. It has a built-in heal effect.
I like clerics.
On
I
us.
think clerics are cool. We just
Sure.
roll with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sold me on clerics. Okay. Cleric. All right. So chooses that. His name. Let's see. I have to choose a model here. I should probably looking for shirtless guy. I like this guy with the axe. This guy with he has an axe and a shield. But he actually has a
love it.
big coat on him. So this guy, I'll show. I think this is gonna be my cleric. He looks like a friendly type, right? I don't remember if I turned focus.
Oh,
Focus.
maybe.
Focus.
Yeah.
Focus.
Focus. There we
Oh,
go.
guys.
That's not gonna-
There he is. All right, that's a fun looking dude. He's a friendly. He's the doctor.
Yes.
Which
Doctor.
is his name. DOHK. Doctor. He was the first.
Wow.
Okay. Move set for my cleric.
Yeah. So
That's gonna get used in the game. That's going in
yeah,
the book somewhere.
yep, that's going in the book.
That word's going in the
I'm
book
sorry
somewhere. You better
for
believe that.
bastardizing your game, Corey.
No,
Within
you're
30
guy-
minutes, I've ruined
We're
it.
not bastardizing your blessing. This is how it works.
The guy whose wife is a doctor.
So
Oh man.
so we'll jump right in, and the basic stat line fill out is the same as the
Mhm.
ace. It's yes, Doug. Doctor is now canon. You fill in your move of 4 inches. Your fizz, skill, and will is 7, 6, 5 in any combination. I would recommend as the cleric putting the 7. Yep, yeah, putting
And
the
the will.
7 there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the armor and vitality, you get to assign a free point in either of them.
Put 1 in vitality. And volume, he is on a 25, so he's a medium.
Yes. Yeah.
He is a solo player.
Yes. So you would check that box to point out that he's a solo.
Primary weapon, one-handed axe.
Yeah. So you can, let's see, what weapon? Yeah, you can do. You can choose a hand weapon. You can choose a blade. You can choose. A poleaxe wouldn't quite work. You could say it's a hammer and just say it's really blunt.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense for a cleric, right? He doesn't sharpen his weapon beforehand. He uses it to wave it in the air as blessing his friends with his voodoo magic.
Yeah.
Primary weapon. So is it one-handed or is it just a hammer?
You can just say hammer.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got a
Hammer
weight. Yeah, of 2.
My range is 0.5.
Yep. It's got a
My
burst of 2.
2 burst. Power
Is +4.
and damage.
2, 3.
That's high a crit there. Keywords on my hammer, other than
Bludgeoning.
I was gonna say awesome, but bludgeoning is actually better than that.
Yeah.
I like bludgeoning. Upgrades on this bad boy, on this cleric.
Ooh.
Would you recommend something for a healer cleric?
So he's got a shield on. We can always look at the model itself to kind of inform our decision. If
That
we're
is true.
stuck.
That is true. Let me grab this.
Yeah,
He
he's got
does
he's got a
have
shield.
a shield. He does have like a shoulder. I know pauldron isn't the right word for it, but like World of Warcraft tainted my word of pauldron. So he has a pauldron on one side, and some skulls across his body, a big chain across his front. So potentially that could be something. But we'll start with shield.
Yes.
What does a shield give me?
A shield gives you +2 armor against melee attacks. And more importantly, you cannot purchase it if your weapon has the cumbersome trait.
Okay. Okay, so he has a shield. Maybe a breastplate. Represent the chain and stuff.
Sure.
And that would give me...
That would give you an extra armor to work with.
Now, there is like a currency that I'm using with these, correct?
Yes. So far, you have purchased a two-handed weapon. You've spent 4. I'm keeping track of it on the rulebook while we're talking.
Perfect.
2, 4. You spent 8 renown in total out of your 20.
Okay, that feels
So-
pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say to round out this cleric of yours, to give him a enchanted brooch. And it's
Okay.
basically it's a one-time consumable that lets him retry a failed save.
Corey, you painted these minis yourself, right?
I did.
Yeah. He's very kind enough to be like, you know what? I'll just ship you guys a box of everything you need to play on stream. And
Yeah.
then we just opened it, and then it was
Corey, I have to ask, as a little bit of an aside here, have we wrapped up the cleric?
Yes, we have.
Okay, before we jump down to Queen and Jack here, did you bend the minis to fit them into storage before you sent them?
No.
Did you really not?
No, they fit in just fine.
Dude, they So every polearm guy was the polearm port was a 90-degree bend, but like consistent across the board.
I did not do that.
To the point where when I pulled him out, the first one I was like, oh no, this one got a little beat up. And then I pulled the second one out and was like, wait. And then I pulled the third one out and I was like, did he do this on purpose to fit them in the... I was like, this guy seems very particular about things. This is surprising.
Doug, thank you for salvaging them.
And let me show you, let me try to zoom in here. So like the point between his hand and the sword was completely stripped. Like the paint completely cracked off of it because that blade was like over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Doug seems to have I mean, he's matched it much better than I ever could. I can't see a difference, but I'm not the one who sees colors.
Yeah, very good job, Doug.
So, and then there was anyone with a sword over their head. The sword broke off, but again, I can't see any damage there. But no, they're in perfect condition now. Doug, the restorator, did some incredible work, it looks like. So,
and I am okay with them staying with you until Adepticon of next year, whenever that happens.
We, if I send them back to you, we'll send them back in one of these felt hair boxes. Those seem to travel pretty well. Cool. All right, so for sake of the game, Queen and Jack, should I just pull from these pre-built lists on the first one, or would the second one be a bit better? Or does it not matter?
Pull from the one that has the pull from the Telegrad rulebook, or from the Telegrad one, the Marksman.
Right, so the Marksman and the Levy. Okay.
Yeah.
And those are both squads, right? So let me get my guys straight here. Here's my Cleric and my thing.
Actually, wait, no. Are you using the Barbarians for yours?
I am. I guess the shirtless guys, I assume.
The shirtless guys? Then pull from the Taiga clan for that one, because it was supposed to match.
Gotcha. All right, so a knight would be a solo guy. He's got a hammer of some sort. Looking for a shirtless man with a hammer.
And it's also important to note for those of you at home, if you end up not seeing the weapon that your guy carries on the in the weapon chart for some reason, there is a hand weapon option that isn't necessarily like the worst option to take. It just doesn't have critical damage. It has the same damage regardless. So it's a good kind of catch-all weapon for you to take. And it's also the cheapest weapon too. We tried to not make any one weapon just like significantly better than all of the rest. And really just make it more of a personal preference, a little bit of utility, and really just whatever matches your minis. So.
Man, let me tell you, I've really, you try to set this up to be super easy peasy for us, and my generation of these first two characters seems to have really screwed that. I'd like to apologize. That said, my knight, who has a camouflaging cloak and a hammer with keywords bludgeoning, I'm going to use your wizard model. I'm going to assume that this is a hammer-like orb, and his...
Yeah, he can just bash over the head with the orb. Totally works.
Yeah, and his camouflaging cloak is actually his garment around him that flows. It's part of the magic, I would say.
And I can see him doing like some whirling dervish stuff to give him, the extra like obscuring nature of the cloak. Totally works.
Small aside,
arrows in the cloak. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I said I wouldn't do this, but roughly 8 years ago, I used the phrase whirling dervish when I was like doing this fake. It's a super long story, but this fake fight announcement, and I was like, the whirling dervish, and no one in the group got my reference.
Oh, come on.
And that was when I stopped being friends with all of them. Not really, but kind of. So the fact that you just threw it out there, I'm just like, this guy gets, this has been 8 years of repressed memories that were just validated. So thank you for that.
Wow. And it's live for everyone to watch.
Yeah.
There's going to be one guy who's like, I remember him. I was very confused. He stopped being my friend because of that?
That was the impetus for the severance of our friendship?
That guy's kind of a douchebag. All right. My men-at-arms, they are a squad of 3. So these will be these 3 guys down here.
Yes.
Right? All right. So I have my Thane, my Cleric, my Knight, and my men-at-arms in a squad.
Sounds good.
Ben, that means you will be fielding the Telegrad band.
Yeah, my guys are the Telegrad contingent. which
Yes.
he's already kindly built. I'm just going to use the pre-built one that comes in the rule book.
Your leader is one of these bros with a polearm. Your guardian has a blade of some sort, so I'm going to assume he's a banner bearer too. Was there a specific one for the banner bearer, Kosu?
No,
Corey.
unfortunately, at the time, I didn't have any models that like had, a big flag.
Shame.
Yeah, planting banners is actually an important mechanic in the game, because of the small character counts and because some of the objectives require such area control, and also because characters have a really hard time of staying dead. Banners are a big proponent of that, and you'll be planting them over the course of the game.
Okay. My marksman. Let me get rid of this window. Second. That down a little bit. Oh, that was Windows button, not the Alt button. Oh, this over. Let's go ahead and just phase that out for now. Okay, so I have these 3 archers. That's my squad of marksmen.
Mhm.
And then a levy, which is also going to be 3 people who have
Yes.
polearms. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So the leader is the polearm that has a big hammer, and then these
Yeah.
3 guys.
And again, it's something where you can flavor your weapon to be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's not as WYSIWYG as some other
So
games require it. Not
right,
this one. You're
it's
okay.
supposed to be obvious, but not
Yeah.
not rivet counting. So where? So I have an extra guy right here then for this group.
Options.
So kind. I like this one better, and I get to choose Ben's squad. Ben, would you like to be black or red?
I'll be red.
Okay. So, like Corey mentioned, guys, the activations and your crew are represented by the face cards and ace, as well as a joker. So, Ben has chosen red. I'm going to put these over here to the left side to represent Ben. And then I will put the black set over here to represent my people. Which means we just need to figure out deployment and all of that fun stuff, correct?
Yes. So we'll jump into random scenario generation, which is just the simple drawing of 4 cards from the random scenario generator deck. We can shuffle up and draw the one with the compass on it first, the brown one. That's our first option. Actually, before we
Okay.
do that,
Yes.
Ben and Connor, I need you guys to determine between yourselves who is the attacker and who is the defender.
I'm the
You-
defender.
I was going to say that I was the attacker.
Sure. The attacker is the one who is going to. Yeah,
Sweet.
the attacker is the person
Easy.
who's going to actually take the first turn of the game. The defender gets more options in terms of how the scenario is set up.
Ben will need options because he sucks at games.
I really do though. This is gonna be a good intro to how I absorb and don't understand any rules ever. I can sit
just
there and
kidding.
draw a pretty picture, but I'm just like, how
sometimes,
do games?
sometimes
How
I
do games
genuinely
work?
feel bad for the rags I give you. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. So
I
okay,
mean-
so going for a compass first.
Yeah, we're going for deployment first. Feel free to shuffle and pick one at random.
I'm just gonna do this sort of shuffle here.
Mhm.
Ben, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Cleft.
Okay, I'm waiting for the stream to show me what that means.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna enable the green screen again. Don't worry.
Awesome, thanks.
There we go.
Still waiting.
Oh,
Oh, there we
listen,
go.
but you can't
Okay.
read it because the focus.
Cleft.
Focus is not great.
No,
It
it's
does
not.
show us where our deployments are, though. There are tokens that are labeled A, B, C, and D that share the same icon as the deployment card. I'm going to need you to place them on the board where the diagram tells you to.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. I have to fix this focus. So,
You
Sure.
don't though.
then I do. I'm configuring the wrong video. Okay, whatever. We're rolling with it. Okay, so I have the little compass tokens. I have A, B, C, D, E, and F, so I won't need all of those. A is up top.
Mhm.
E is to the right. C is down low. And D is to the left. Copy that. What's next?
Okay, so the defender chooses one, A and C, or B and D, and you deploy. If the focus, I'm already seeing a typo on the card. Oh well.
Don't show
Deploy
it.
2 of your units wholly within 4 inches of each of the points in your selection. Your warband must be uh,
Evenly split.
evenly split. Thank you.
All right, so Ben,
Um,
you're the defender. Do you want A and C, which is the top and bottom, or do you want B and D left and right?
A and C.
You want top and bottom. Okay. Your warband must be evenly split. Is that by model count?
It's by profile. So
Profile.
ace, king, queen, and jack. So like ace and king in one, and queen and jack in the other, or ace and jack, or whatever you like. But 2 in one, 2 in the other.
Ben, do you prefer anything?
I'll let you do it. It's easier for you to do it, I think.
Okay. I'm going to take your Thane, your leader. He's the guy with the hammer. I'm going to put him up here at A. Let's see.
They're the A team.
Yeah.
Only within each of the points in your selection.
Yeah, within 4 inches.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was
okay.
the typo.
And then
We'll fix
your
that
next
before launch, I swear.
you're good. Hey,
Everything.
this is,
Okay, there's should be a huge disclaimer. Everything that you're seeing is prototype right now,
Yeah.
and still work in progress. So
I'm going to give him the levy. I'm going to give the guy with the pole arm a squad of guys with pole arms. So Ben,
Seems
your
solid.
levy and your Thane, your ace and your jack are up north.
Okay.
And then your, what's this guy? The guardian and your marksman are down south.
cool. I didn't spend money on a doctor.
A doctor.
Doctor.
That's why you'll lose. Okay, and now attacker, that is this guy, deploy 2 of your units within 4 inches of the points not occupied the defender, correct?
Yep.
All right. Like the defender, must be evenly split. All right, so I'm going to take my Thane. See, who's my Thane with? My Thane's probably with my men at arms. I think. So my Thane, this guy, I'm going to put over here with my squad of men at arms. And then my cleric and my knight. I mean, they're over here in the stables.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Okay,
Okay.
now that you've deployed, it's time to draw your objective. So feel free to shuffle the blue deck and draw from that. Yeah.
Ben, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh, jeez, I dropped them.
Nice.
Stopped a little too fast there.
I was just so ready.
I'm on a delay, so there's no point having me ask you stop.
You could wait 1 to 4 seconds. You know. You could just
sure.
you could
Sure, like it's. I mean,
Okay. Claim Dominion. 3 game
Okay.
rounds. Divide the
Yep.
board into 4 identical quadrants that measure 12 by 12. Easy enough. The defender then places 3 objective tokens on the board, each more than 6 inches from any other objective token on the board edge. Objective tokens. I'm going to assume these are these tokens, or do I need to grab
Yeah, those are
some?
the blue tokens in
Let's see.
right next to your bicycle deck. Anything with
Yeah.
the kind of scroll.
Yeah. So A, B, and C. Ben, do you have a preference for these?
Nope.
On the board.
Not really.
I'm assuming he's defending these, so he'd want to place them close to his crew.
Right. So each of the objective cards will actually tell you what the attacker and what the defender are doing. So
Oh, I see. I should keep reading. Defender. During the conquest phase, score 1 point for each quadrant and/or objective token you control. And that's you, Ben. And then attacker. During the conquest phase, score 1 point for each quadrant and/or objective token you control. All right. Each player may control a quadrant by having the most friendly models and banners wholly within the quadrant. All right. So again, we have 4 quadrants.
Mhm.
Each player may control an objective token by having the most friendly models and banners within 4 inches of that objective. All right. So there's 3 objectives and 4 quadrants that we're trying to split up and score points at the end of, I'm assuming, each round or sometime during a round.
Yeah, at the end of each round. The conquest phase happens during, like, at the very end of play for that round, but
Yeah.
right before it cycles into the next round.
All right.
So you guys are going to alternate placing these objectives. Ben, as the defender, would place the first one. Connor, you'd place
Okay.
the second, following any stipulations like the 6-inch part on
Right.
the card, and then Ben place the last one.
Ben, would you like me to just place one like very close to your guys?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm gonna put one like
Cheating.
right
It's time to
right
cheat.
under this little overhang. I'm gonna put it on top of the building just so
Yeah.
people can see.
Yeah.
But it's
and I
right
think
there.
does it have to be 6 inches away from the edge of the table?
And the board edge. Look at you knowing the game you wrote. This guy's legit, Ben. That was a test.
Oh,
We'll
I want
put
to
it
make sure
here.
that I didn't leave that out.
We'll put it over here for Ben. That's where the moonshine is kept.
Nice.
And now I get to place one, correct?
Give me some of that.
Yes.
Okay,
And it's got to be
place
6 inches away from any other tokens and the board edge.
this one right here.
And
Can
do
we
you
see
remember
that?
those
Yep.
guys that were like drinking that mead at Adepticon?
Yeah, those meat guys were crazy. That was
They
like
were
a thing.
so drunk.
That was a
they were
thing. It was
so
like
drunk.
9:30 in the morning. Like the doors had just
No.
opened.
That was at night. That was at night.
No. I think on Sunday at 9:30, I went to go get Matt water because he didn't have a voice, and those guys were like pouring mead around.
Oh, they were. Well, I only saw them at night.
No.
They were blackout drunk when we. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
put
like,
one-
"You want some of this mead?" I'm like, "No, thank you.
Dang.
I'm good."
Have you ever had
good.
mead, Ben? Ever had mead?
I don't think I have. No.
Stuff hits hard and it's so good.
Mm.
Listen, we said we weren't
Well,
going to get
yeah.
off track. Ben, where would
Yeah,
you like to
true.
place the last token here? Entry to the cemetery.
Yeah,
Ooh.
near that yellow tuft of.
Oh, near the
Terrain.
yellow stuff. Let's just put it right there. Okay, we have 3 objectives placed.
Sounds great. After you've done that, you then get to draw your twist, which is the reddish maroon one.
I
And you just draw
love-
one roll.
I love cards, and I love a consolidated deck of cards. So, Ben, wait 1 to 4 seconds and then tell me to stop.
So,
Okay, thanks. That was pretty good. No surprises. This choice has no effect. Okay, we'll just go for the next one just for sake of the
Okay.
game.
Sure.
Clover's Boon. Each player may push their luck twice per round instead of once per round.
Yes, that is a mechanic that we will get into when we come to it, but just remember that you can do it twice.
Okay.
Normally,
love
you
it.
can only do it once. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. This is one of the
and-
good twists.
Okay.
It's just
okay.
positive.
And now motives.
Yes.
Last
So those get drawn. There are 2 of them that get drawn at a time. They are side objectives on top of all the other ones. As they are scored, they are put at the bottom of the motive deck and then replaced with a new one. So there should always be 2 motives to chase after.
Oh, okay. So I just draw the top 2 after shuffling?
Yep.
Right. So first one is going to be Bitter Decimation. Second will be All Out Assault. Bitter Decimation. Required to score this immediately after an activation if an enemy model is down by an attack made by a friendly unit and that squad had 3 models at the start of that activation.
Yes.
If the motive cannot be scored by either player, replace this with a new motive.
Yes. So if there are no squads alive, for example, just replace it with a new one.
So that one is specifically to nuke the other person's squad. And
Yeah.
then
If you nuke a
potentially
squad
can
from
score.
3 to 0 in one activation, score it.
Sick. All Out Assault. Score this immediately after activation if an enemy solo model is down by an attack made by a friendly unit and that enemy model had no wounds at the start of the activation. Okay, so we get 1. We get 2 points for the squad and 1 for the solo.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, that's our motives, Ben. I mean, pretty straightforward. Kill the other guy.
That's our motives. My motive is locked and loaded. Time for
okay.
battle.
Yeah, that's it. That's all 4 cards, right?
Yes. And now we're ready to start.
Ben, I'm going to put see through. So we have these flow of play and universal actions. I'm going to
Ooh,
dip
lovely.
into this corner. I think.
Oh, look at you. While you do that, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Goodbye.
Quick, while he's
Uh,
gone, destroy his
yeah.
men.
Yeah, right. Give me the secrets, game designer. Tell me how to decimate Ben. I mean,
Um,
usually it's fairly easy, but
so if there are any playtesters in the chat right now, they know that grenades are king. Um,
oh yeah,
but the goal here really is to just lock down exactly what the objective says. It's pretty straightforward. Lock down quadrants, lock down tokens, hold them for as long as possible with the most amount of units. You'll eventually come into contact with the enemy, but no plan survives contact with the enemy. Let's see.
right.
Okay, so for the rest of the people who are chatting while Ben is away, when you activate a unit, whether or not it's a squad or a solo, each of them get either 2 simple actions or 1 complex action to use. We've got a list of all the actions you can take up in the corner. Thank you, Connor. Everything from moving to attacking, interacting with models. You can prepare, which is essentially taking a token that allows you to retry saves if you fail. You can try casting a spell if you have unequipped, interacting with objectives should you need to. Um, Disengaging if you are within half an inch, you get locked in combat with people and you have to leave if you don't want to be in combat anymore. Or perhaps some other action that gets listed on your profile, whether it's through a upgrade or something similar. Yes, berserkers and grenades are king. Um, and
Okay,
then for oh,
back.
Ben is
For
back.
for complex actions, then, right?
Yes. We've got jumping. We've got commanding, which is a complex command that only aces can do. They basically tell any other unit in your list to perform 2 simple actions. So you're spending an ace to tell somebody else to do something, um, and that is their delegation skills at work.
Hmm.
And now we get to the interesting part. Earlier, when I said units have to try really hard to stay dead, this is what I mean by that. Downed units. So when you are reduced to 0 wounds through combat, you become downed. You can only be killed by if my Canadian roommate is watching this, I'm so sorry, Christian. By a coup de grace. I know I mispronounced that. Don't don't hurt me.
That's how I would pronounce it.
Yeah,
At what point is he the wrong one? You know, like when most of the rest of the English-speaking world. But
I'm ruining his French one day at a time, I swear. But so the only way to actually kill a unit outright is with a coup de grace, and the only way you can do that is by approaching them and trying to hit them within melee range with the coup de grace combat skill, which is listed as a short action up top. The reason why this is because each downed unit can attempt a second wind if they are within 4 inches of a friendly banner. Another reason why banners are so important is they provide inspiration. They give strength, and by performing a whip save as a complex action, if they succeed, they regain 1 hit point, get back up, and immediately perform a simple action of their choice.
hmm,
If they are not within a friendly banner, they can instead crawl 4 inches on, on hands and knees, trying to get to. Oh, hey, buddy. My cat is bugging me. Um, and they can attempt to crawl towards that banner to get within that sphere of influence. Um, each unit has a sphere of influence as well, and that is directly related to their willpower. Basically, however many inches that sphere of influence is, that bubble, that's the amount of willpower.
okay,
So Connor, you're the attacker, yes?
yeah, yeah. I'm generally the attacker in most situations, so this works out in this one too.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So I get to
ugh,
choose from one of my face cards for my activation, right?
yes. So who would you like to activate, sir?
Okay, so let me think. I have these 3 objectives.
Mhm,
We're basically on the crossroads of the quadrant.
mm,
Let's talk a little bit about movement and terrain. So things
sure.
like switching cameras here. Things like fences and well buildings. I assume I have to walk around, but like fences that are as tall as the volume of the model. Can I just jump over those? Do I have to climb them? Is there tests involved with movement, or is it pretty like straightforward? I just move the inches.
The movement is pretty straightforward. If it is equal to or less than your volume's height, you can mantle it as though it were not in your way, and it just provides like some visual interference.
Gotcha.
If it is taller, you have to climb it, which is basically a vertical move as a short skill, and you can only do that when you are contacting the piece of terrain that you are trying to climb, and it's just moving vertically and over. This is
Okay.
one of the things that got added in the most recent playtest doc that is missing from your print version,
Gotcha.
unfortunately.
All right. So I'm gonna activate my cleric, which is this guy right here.
Yes.
He's back here. So I will use a simple action to move towards that fence, and then I would like to move over it, right? And it's two simple actions there.
Mhm.
His move as a cleric is 4 inches.
Yes.
So it's about 2 inches straight to this wall. And then I would need to climb over it.
Yes.
So it's 1.5 over it.
Mhm.
So I could get on top of it and then some. Do I need to be able to complete it in one move, or can I split the movement across climbing?
You can split the movement.
Okay.
It's pretty freeform in that regard.
So I'll count the
The-
next is 3, which brings me to 5 inches on the other side of this fence. And then I have 3 inches left.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna tuck in. I'm gonna tuck in this corner right over here. Is there facing in this game?
No, everybody has 360 vision at all times.
Okay.
Whoa, that's so different to Luna.
Yeah. Why?
So
Who would ever
used
write a game with strict
So
facing
used to
rules?
like guys with facing that's like
Hey, I
this.
love Lunar. I love Infinity. It's like facing has a place. It's
Wow, Ben, this guy just mentioned Lunar and Infinity in the same sentence.
They're totally, dude.
they're
spot on,
totally
man.
yeah.
Imagine writing a game that gets put in the same sentence as Infinity, because that's where we're at, Ben. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Heck yeah,
Okay.
you are.
Yeah. All right. So that guy's moved, and that's it.
Yes.
So I would just then flip. Well, normally this would be my hand, right? So normally I would play. That was my cleric, so I'd play a king card right there.
Yes. Yeah. Normally you
then-
would play the card first and then do the actions.
Yeah.
And because what suit of card you play does actually factor into things like combat, and you want to know which one is down when you reveal cards for combat.
Okay. So I played the king of clubs, and that is important to know if I was in combat.
Yes.
Ben, what would you like to do?
I will also activate my
Your king card.
my king card. Yeah.
Okay. Would you like the spades or hearts? Sorry, diamonds or hearts?
Hearts.
Asking real questions.
The king of hearts. Okay. Played the king of hearts. The king of hearts is your guardian, who has a blade. Your guardian is this guy in the south.
The
He's
one
with all the
archers.
archers down in the south. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna move that guy. I want to get to that first objective piece. I think that the one that's closest to my guys.
Kind of close by those guys.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Okay. All right. So let's see what his movement. His movement is 4 inches. Is 4 inches standard movement across the board,
Yeah.
pretty much?
As you look into character creation, when you choose your different silhouette sizes, your movement does expand and contract depending on how large or small you are.
Hmm.
Or you do have the option to buy a mount upgrade, just get on a horse, and that does increase your movement as well.
Okay. So that's one move, which does take him within, I think it's 4 inches for these objectives.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Ben, that's one. With a second action here. Move, melee attack, ranged attack, coup de grace, prepare, cast a spell, interact, disengage, profile action. I don't think he has any spells, correct, as the guardian.
No.
But he
I
could
don't know
prepare.
ways of magic yet.
Is prepare
Yeah,
like
I'll
a
prepare.
focus action?
Yeah. So you would perform a skill check, and it would just be a regular test against their skill value. And then if
Okay.
you succeed, you get a dodge token. Or I
All right.
think
So
it's been renamed to something else, but
this is the first time now that we're drawing a test. So
yes.
we have our deck, which is over here, guys. It's the black and red cards. This is all of the number cards of all the suits. Just because I looked at it, I'll do a little quick shuffle right there.
Mhm.
Bin's Guardian is doing a skill test. His skill is 5. So in this game, you're looking for a 5 or under, correct?
Yes. Yeah, equal
Okay.
to or less than.
And I just pulled the top card.
Let's do it.
Boom. It is a 10.
All right, a
And
10 is a failure.
You did not. You did
That's a
not
big
prepare.
fail.
You did not prepare.
I did not use my Vegas card counting
Tried to
skills.
focus and do the DBZ counter
Yeah.
charging up, and
Nothing happened.
Then you had a flashback to an argument you had with your partner the day before, and it like really just bummed you out. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
So. There goes your focus. Okay, so your King of Hearts has been played. The 10 of Hearts, I'm assuming suit doesn't matter for a skill test, has been
No.
played. Ben, if you're
Alright.
counting cards in an Excel document, the 10 of Hearts has been done. If you want to mark that down.
I'm not counting cards in an Excel document.
What?
no-
No, crazy.
Now it's my turn again, correct?
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to move my Thane. So I'm going to play an Ace of Spades.
Ooh.
And he's just going to move, I think. Switch over to this. He is going to move 4 inches forward. Is there pre-measuring in this game?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can.
I make a point in the document of noting that there is pre-measuring, but if you would prefer to play the game without it, that is totally okay. So
I prefer to play without it because I'm much better at judging distances than Ben is. But especially when I'm on stream and he's not.
Yeah.
So he moved
That's
4
so
inches.
true, though.
I'm gonna-
it's such a cheat.
I'm going to move him another 4 right next to this objective token.
Okay.
Are you trying to roll up on me here, boy?
I'm
That says
I'm-
conflict in the
objective.
near future.
yeah. Okay, Ben, you're up.
Who else have I got down in that
You have
section? My Thane?
Down in the south, you have your marksman. You have your 3 archers. A squad of
got-
archers. They
Okay,
are
yeah.
your queens.
I wanna activate them. I'm gonna try and let's see if I can roll up on you and fill you full of arrows.
Okay. Queen of
Perfect.
Hearts. It's a
Yeah,
squad.
perfect
Do I
timing.
move one at a time, or do I move one and do both actions? How does this work with the squad?
So here's how you activate squads. You pick one model from the squad to act as your kind of avatar for the squad.
Okay.
You move it wherever you want the squad to move. And then after you've finished moving it, you place the remainder of the squad wholly within 2 inches of the model you just moved.
Even so, like this guy right here,
Mhm.
I'm gonna move this front guy up 4 inches.
Yes.
This back guy, I could move essentially 6 inches past him, as long as he ends up within 2 inches.
Yeah. Leapfrogging is totally a thing.
Squad play is OP. Okay, so he's gonna go over here.
They're very much glass cannons. They're very strong when they're at their full capacity of 3 models, but as they get whittled down over the course of the game, they continuously get less and less good. Whereas solos start at a set power level, and despite however many hits they've taken, as long as they're up, they're still at full strength.
I see.
Interesting.
Okay, so Ben, that is one move, and I am within your sights, I would
Time.
assume.
It's time to be shooting you.
All right, so marksman, they use the skill trait. Let me. What's up
My
here on
skill
the
is 7.
Oh, that was such a good rack focus shot. Oh, that's so cool.
Marksman, 7 skill, as you guys can see right here for Ben's marksman. So that means that I'm looking for a 7 or under with the chaos deck to see if they hit, correct?
Correct.
Targeting wise, it's a volume based game, so they have a cylinder around them, correct?
Yes.
Is there cover bonuses that I need to consider? Is there anything like that?
There are. If you have a piece of terrain that is obscuring line of sight and is between you and the intervening model, then it provides a -1 penalty to the attacker. Since they can be seen, since the defender can be seen without any intervening terrain, no cover bonus is granted.
All right, now there is his guy between them. Let me move him just for the sake
Yeah.
of it.
You can
Is that a
attack
thing?
through friendly models. Yeah.
Okay. So no
Dude, my guy
bonuses.
is so skilled. He's just gonna like, it's gonna be like the start of Lord of the Rings when all the arrows like fly past
Very
Yeah.
Hugo
much
Weaving's
so. Yeah.
head. Yeah, that's what this scene is gonna be like.
Okay.
Range of a
So
longbow. It looks like 1 inch. Is that correct?
that
Or is
should
this a
be
typo?
12 inches.
Okay,
That's a
I was
typo.
about to
That
say.
should be 12 inches.
I mean, it would make sense if it was below. Let me.
I was like,
just-
don't do me like this, bro. I'm like 1 inch. Oh no! I'm like, this is my time to shine.
All right, so 12
Alright.
inches. They're definitely within range. So we just have to make the test, see if they hit, right?
Yes.
Do
So
it.
the way it's marked as burst 3 here, for units, they override whatever the burst of the weapon is with however many models are in the unit. So since they have 3 models, it's 3 burst. And more specifically, it's however many models in the unit that can draw a legal range to the target. So since all of them can draw 12 inches to that target, they
Yeah.
all contribute towards the burst. If, for example, they had halberds of like 2 inches or something, and only 2 of the 3 were able to stabby, they'd only get the 2.
Classic stabby stabby. I hate when I can't stabby stabby because there's a building in the way.
Right?
Or like job constructs, like, oh, they're employees, I can't stab them. Anything like that really bums me out. But these guys don't have that issue. All 3 of them burst 3. So I pull just one card?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
1 card. And if it's a success, then you proceed. If it's a failure, you continue to pull until you.
Is an ace of spades. And you're looking for
Ooh.
a skill of 7. So, Ben, that doesn't hit. So I have 2 more chances here.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to look up marksman to see what they actually do, because they may give you something.
But they may
Marksman.
give like a bonus.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have called this out beforehand. That's my bad.
How dare you?
How dare you?
You know what?
So-
Get this guy out of here. Get this guy.
So
We're done.
that is actually a success. Marksman, as an archetype, their bonus is that at the beginning of their activation, they become focused. So by being focused, you are given +1 skill and +1 will, and then the effect expires after you succeeded a test.
Okay, so I like that. Okay, so that succeeds. Ace of Spades succeeds, and my let's get the view here. My Thane,
Get arrowed, bro.
my
What,
Thane has been thunged.
What was the
Pretty sure.
actual card played for activation?
Queen of Hearts.
Okay, cool. So if it was a 8 of hearts, that would have been a critical success, because the suit matched what you played to activate the card. And that's when you would use the second damage value instead of the first one.
So 2 damage. Is that across the board, or is that 2 for each model?
It's just 2 damage to the model in general.
Okay. So my Thane just takes 2. Oh, I get armor saves though and stuff, right?
Yes, you do. So, so it was an 8. So you were looking at the power of the weapon, which is it like a +4?
It's 4.
Yeah, +4. So that's a 12. So 8 + 4, 12.
My Thane.
Yeah, he needs to draw a card and then apply his armor bonus, and
Just
then
3.
yes. So you need to reveal a 10, because you need to beat whatever the incoming power is.
It's an 8. It's another 8 of hearts. Oh, Ben, you almost crit me. You were 1 away from a crit.
Dude, my guys, dude, Telegrad contingent, they're showing
Oh
up.
god.
Yeah, man.
Showing
Okay.
up today.
But okay.
So I get
Boys.
+3, so it's 11 and 12. So
Mm-hmm.
do I take 1 wound, or do I take the full amount?
You take the full damage.
Okay, so I'll take the full
it's
2.
binary. Yeah, you either
Alright.
take the damage or you don't.
I'm gonna use blue, and my Thane here takes 2 hits.
Yep. 2 hits, 3 to go.
Okay.
All right. A very effective activation, if I do say so myself.
Dude, that's how I operate.
Um,
I'm just like I'm like a hustler. I'm just like,
okay,
oh, I'm so bad at games. Oh, and then I just like take you
I
out.
would like to play my Joker.
All right. Go for it. Who are you joking?
I'm joking my Thane.
Oh, here it comes.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
my Thane. So guys, Joker is the wild card. You can reactivate anyone. Hi Tori, how's it going? Good to see you in chat through via CWAT. You're the best. See what's better, but you're also the best. So 4 inches here for this guy moving, right? And I within half an inch.
Yes.
I think I'm going to be aiming for these archers. I really think I am.
Sure. Yeah.
I
So
think-
here's where the glass cannon of archers comes into play, or squads in general. Each member of the unit only has 2 wounds, and unlike solos, where if they are downed, they cannot be killed unless they are coup de grace. Unit models are immediately removed from the board when they run out of wounds, with the exception of the final member of the unit. So 3 disappears down to 2, disappears down to 1. And the squad can never regain those models. So glass cannon.
So I'm running up on this guy. I've got a
Yeah.
beef. I've got
You
some
got
things
like
to say.
arrows
beef.
sticking out of you. You're just like ready to brawl.
I'm getting
Do I
some General
stop?
Radon vibes.
Yeah, do I stop at 0.5 or do I go base to base?
You can go base to base.
I would like to go base to base because that engages like everyone, and my
Yes.
Thane is over it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna go base to base. His fizz is 8. I would like to swing my 2-handed broadsword at this archer in front of me.
Do it.
Okay. So I just pull from the top card. I'm looking. This is the Joker, so I don't get a crit using a Joker.
Correct. Yeah, that's the trade-off for using a Joker. You can activate anybody, but if you use it in combat, you don't get the crit bonus.
All right, I pulled a 4, so it hits.
Okay, so what's the power of your weapon?
Power of my sword is +4.
Okay, so you've got a total power of 8.
Ah,
Now Ben's
so
archer needs to save.
you really want to hit your number on the dot
Yeah.
to get the most damage for your hit. I was feeling good about that 4 until I wasn't. Okay, so that's an 8 damage. Ben, your marksmen have a +2 armor.
They do.
I only rolled a 2 of clubs though, so it's 4. So they take 4, or they take the full damage, correct?
They take the full damage, not critical damage.
No,
at all.
no, not critical. So it's only 2, only 2 damage.
But
For
that
Ben's-
immediately deletes the archer.
You just deleted him.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, remember, squad mates only have 2 health.
So I would go 1, 2, and then this squad member.
Yes.
Just like bisected by the sword. Do I get to choose the squad member?
It's the model that you attacked. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's the first one.
Goodbye,
Okay.
little archer guy.
Sucks to suck, Ben. Your turn.
Okay.
Now, in this game, so I have a king, an ace, and a joker. Do I stack these, or do I need to fan them so my opponent can see? Is there a rule about that?
No, there's no necessary rule about that. You can stack them, and then as long as you keep them in order, so that your opponent can, if they want to, see what you activated and in what order. That's generally open information.
Mhm.
Alternatively, though, the chaos deck is stacked. You don't.
Yes.
You have to remember what's under that, correct?
Yes.
I
Right,
kind of
okay.
want to use my Joker and activate my Guardian.
Yeah. Well,
Again.
you would.
And fight you.
Okay.
Yeah, you
fight.
guys are engaged.
Let's fight. I'll
Let's
fight
duke
you.
it out.
Come on, sir.
Ben, do you see this Joker? Do you see this skull? That's gonna be you. You're gonna regret this right there. All right.
That's
So you're
gonna be
activating
you. I
your
like it.
Guardian.
Hmm.
Pull this down to Guardian. He is within 0.5 inches, so he doesn't even have to move, does he?
Yeah. He can just attack twice if he wants to.
Get attacked, dude.
okay.
Get attacked.
All right, so you're just swinging away.
Yep.
Mhm.
Fizz 7. I rolled a 6. Oh no. Okay. I didn't
I
roll.
rolled.
I drew. I drew a
I love,
6.
I love how he's so used to rolling. He's even.
Yeah.
That's totally
Okay.
okay, man.
Pulled a 6. That's bad because that's a lot of damage. Your guardian has +4 power, so it's 10 points of damage.
Potentially.
Um,
Well,
my
10 power.
10 power.
Potentially
10
just
power,
1
not
damage. Because
Sorry.
he's just got a blade.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, I warned you, man.
I'm not feeling. Yeah. All right. So my Thane has +3. I go to 3. That's only 6. It does not defend it. I will take yet another point of damage. Just 1 because your guardian only has 1 point of damage.
Correct.
But I can attack again, right?
Yes, you
You
can.
can. Let me make sure you didn't crit there. 6 of. Oh, you
You used
can't.
a
That's
Joker.
Well, I used the Joker, so I
and not crit.
Yeah.
Okay, next one attack is a 2. That does hit. +4. You have 6 power. I'm gonna do this at 8 +3, 11. No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
So
That
let's
one-
start talking about luck. Because remember our
okay.
twist at the beginning. When players can push their luck, they can do one of two things. They can expend their luck to either retry a test that they fail, or specifically, like if you reveal 3 cards, you can retry with the 4th card to do it again, or you can force an opponent to retry a save.
So I pulled. I'm gonna have to. I buried it because I thought I had messed up.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah.
Let me
So-
grab. It was an 8, right? 8 of
Yeah.
clubs. Was it
Yeah.
an 8?
You can pull
of-
any sort of high number for this
Yeah,
example.
we'll pull the 8. All right. So I pulled an 8. Ben, you can push your luck twice here.
I want you to retry that.
Okay. So you push your luck. It is a
Yeah.
9.
No.
Can you push
Okay.
your luck 2 times in a row?
Only once per activation.
Okay.
But now you can do it twice per round.
Right. I
Whereas
see.
ordinarily you can only do it once per round.
Okay. So that's it for his turn.
Yep.
Man, this game goes clean once you get going. I love this.
Stab.
Okay. I am going to activate my men-at-arms. They are my jack. I'm going to use the jack of spades right over here. I'm going to move them 4 inches forward. Frog, I think. And 2 inches, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
2
by the
inches.
way, for those at home, the Men-at-Arms' special ability as the archetype is Strength in Numbers. It gains a +1 to whatever it is using to attack an enemy model while it has more models in its unit than the defender.
Mm.
So if
Ben's
it's
about to
attacking
get wrecked.
solos,
That's all I
Yeah.
heard.
I'm about to get totally rolled.
we'll see.
Okay,
That
so
classic
is there
Jelligrad
a
confidence.
charge action? Because wait. So one is acting as the avatar. So I moved him
Yeah.
first. I'd have to move him again, right?
Yeah.
For the second. I don't think I can get within half an inch of that guy within this turn. So the best I can do is just move close and prepare for the next round.
So you can move him, and then the leapfrog can get you there, I think, right?
Can I backtrack?
Yeah, totally.
I would like to backtrack. I don't want to activate.
Sure.
Because I just realized.
I was going to say, no
Why
cards have been
dare you?
revealed, no tests have been done,
How
so...
dare you? This is cheating. This is
I just
absolute
realized I have a king of spades to play.
I'm being robbed here, right on live on camera. You're
Live on
seeing the
Twitch.
game.
Terms of
This is-
service.
I'm getting robbed.
I'm activating my king of spades. I'm activating my Thane right here
I need everyone to at Connor and abuse him.
for his
Give me
third
stick.
activation.
Give him the stick.
He is within half an inch of your guardian.
Yes.
Now he does have a cumbersome weapon, so I can only attack once, right?
Correct.
So should I? What's the word here? What am I looking for? Should I prepare and then swing?
So because you were engaged with him,
Yeah.
the only thing you can do is swing or disengage.
Well, I'm just gonna swing then. All right.
Sure.
I pulled a 6. It's pretty good. My fizz was 8. You know, I like that. I like this because the higher physical ability is potentially the more power. That's neat. That's clever. That's clever, Corey. I'm seeing the pieces fall into place here.
Thank you,
Okay,
bud.
so a 6 goes off. +4 power. That's 10 power. Been against your Guardian.
Show me the money. Guardian's
your
special ability.
Guardian
way.
is +3 hour. +3, sorry, armor, not hour. Yeah, what's his
solid.
ability?
So the Guardian is inured to pain. It reduces all non-critical damage dealt to it by 1 to a minimum of 1.
Okay, so no critical. So that's fine. Right, I don't want to critical the Guardian then. In general.
Well, it lessens the damage dealt to it by a critical, but normally criticals are like double damage anyway.
I
so.
see.
The
4.
math, man.
4 of spades, Ben. 4 + 3 is 7 against my 10. Your Guardian does not defend against my Thane strike.
Listen, he's just doing his best, guys.
Yeah.
He's just doing his best.
That's 2 damage.
Yep.
2 damage. He's half health.
Or yeah, so it reduces. Sorry, I misspoke earlier. It reduces the non-critical damage. Critical damage still goes through as normal, so you do want to crit him.
Dang it. Okay, so 1 damage.
Yeah.
1 damage.
That's on me. I'm sorry.
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, you've already got him at half health. That's
Yeah.
rough.
Okay, so 1 damage there, and I have another thing to do. I
Mhm.
guess I could try to disengage, but I think I'm just gonna. Can I just taunt him? Can I say some vulgar things about his mother?
You better not. You better not do it.
Yeah, I think at this point the only thing you can do is pass.
Yeah.
If you don't want to disengage. If
Right,
you like where you are.
I would like to pass like I passed on your mother last night. Got him. All right, Benjamin. What's up?
That's fine. Okay, so I have the guys at the top that I need to be doing stuff.
No, you do have your king and queen. Both your guardian and archers can still activate another round.
True.
Yeah, maybe we just keep juking it out. Maybe we should
Okay.
do that. Let's do the marksman because they did me a solid earlier. With some...
Now, I should have engaged them.
Can I just shoot you? Can I shoot into this combat that's going on? Or...
Yeah, totally.
Let's do it.
Now their range is it's 12 inches. I see. Okay, your marksman, that is your queen of diamonds. You would just like to shoot right off the bat?
Yeah.
You do prepare as your marksman ability. So your skill is 7. We're looking for a +1 8. We're looking for an 8 or under on this card flip.
True.
It is a 7. Okay.
Ooh.
It's +4 power, so that's 11 power on this hit. My Thane has +3 armor. I'm gonna flip this. 10 +3.
Ooh.
Would you like to push my luck, Ben?
I was gonna say you've got
You have 1 more for this round, but after this you'd be done until round 2.
I want to push my luck.
Okay.
Feeling lucky.
7 +3 is 10. Ben, you had a 7 +4. Yep, push into luck. Does it?
Yep.
It hits for 2 damage. Is it the full damage? Oh, he had a burst though. Oh, but he hit. No, never mind. We're good.
Yeah, you're good. So it just does the 2 damage. So I don't know if it takes him down or not.
It does. That is the 4th and 5th damage of my Thane.
Okay. I told you shouldn't have spoken about my mother like that.
So is he out of action?
He is downed.
He is downed.
You can just mark him as down. You can tip him over.
Because I have the nice mat, I'll tip him. But
yeah.
Drop your cess to chat, guys. We took him out.
Ben always stresses about how I treat miniatures. So I apologize if I give you anxiety from throwing around your beautifully painted miniatures. Although the postal service seemed to do it before me.
Yeah, they were also varnished too, so I'm not worried. You're good.
Okay, so Ben, that was 1. Can he coup de grace me?
He can. Actually, no, he has to be within 0.5, so he'd have to walk into range.
But his guardian potentially can next round.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, Ben, what would your archers like to do? To move up?
Yeah.
Move up to a bit more
Move
defensive
up so maybe
positioning.
I can close some range between me and that.
God, it's been so long since I saw these minis. I forgot how they look really good on camera.
They're really fun, man.
They're so much fun.
We spent a good amount of time admiring them. Okay. Ben, that is it for him. I really shouldn't have just sent him in the battle on his own.
Oh,
Well,
he did damage. He took out a whole model by himself.
Ooh. I can charge. Can I charge if I end my second movement? Do I attack?
No, there's no charge bonus.
Okay. So how close can I get with my second movement? Can I engage but not attack?
Yeah, so you can get as close enough to engage, and that would pull them off of your guy potentially. Yeah, when you end within engagement distance with a unit, everyone in that unit snaps to the thing that's engaging. If that makes sense.
I see. So my 3 guys just ran right up on top of Ben's archers, but not engaged with the guardian, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
And that
those
is-
archers then engage your men at arms. So they snap into base to base with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, normally if it's just single model to single model, they're already engaged as is. But with
Yeah.
squads, it's a little weird. So this kind of like way of doing it handles how engagement with squads works. Everybody just
see.
puddles together.
I like it. Ben, are you going to coup de grace me?
Yep.
All right,
Better
give me that
believe.
fizz roll or fizz flip.
In honor of Corey's Canadian roommate, I will coup de grace this man.
How are you supposed to pronounce it?
It's coup de grace. I think.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm sorry. His
There's
name was
too many
Christian.
buttons.
I'm sorry. I just.
Come here, Christian. Come here.
How do you say it, man?
All right, I'm gonna block his identity. Hang on.
Yeah.
You guys hear that?
Cool. I can't do
You're
it.
trying.
I'm sorry. I'm from Texas,
Great.
and I embody
Yeah.
all the ignorance that statement provides.
Yeah, to be fair, you're using there's the other 2 people in this chat. One is Australian and one is Texan. Both are not known for the usage of the English language. So, let's be
One's known for dropping the F word fixin'ta. I'm fixing to kill your guy. The other's known for dropping the C word, which I can't pronounce on stream. So, but classic Aussies. Let's pull. Let's pull for this fizz.
Yeah. Pull.
Physical guardian. Sorry, this is your guardian. Physical 7 is what we're looking for here.
Yes.
Oh no, it is a 7. It is not a crit though. It is a 7 of hearts, but
Okay.
It was a king of diamonds, so it is not a crit, but it is a 7.
Okay. All right.
That's going to be
So
7 plus 4.
The
Oh wait.
yeah, you still make a defense roll.
Okay, so an 11. Flip to 4, so that's not going to do it. Can I push my luck for a defense roll?
On a save, no.
Okay.
Your opponent can force you to do it.
Let's just zoom in here as my thing gloriously gets a sword through his throat.
Our first death.
get wrecked.
You say it's hard to kill people in this game, but you didn't let us play it yet, so.
Fair.
Ben and I are pretty good at killing off our own units. That's his first action. Ben, you have a second action with that guy. You like to try to back up your archers, maybe?
Yeah. Gotta get my bros. Gotta have their back.
Yeah, I'll just move you in the base of the base with these men-at-arms over here. My turn. I have a queen, and an ace left. I misplayed something. Right, Jack.
Oh, whoops.
Because
Oh,
I've
you meant
my
to play Joker.
yeah, that's what happened. Okay. My men at arms have moved once. I am now playing their second activation.
Ooh.
Mm.
Why are my kings on the ground? What's happened? What have I done?
What is the? Who are you
Sound
people?
off in the chat. What has Connor done?
Oh, I switched my discard in my other deck at some point. Okay,
Oh, rip.
my Joker's gone. My Thane went, so both my aces are gone.
Mhm.
And my men in arms have gone. That's one Jack. Cool. So I'm gonna play my second Jack now. Bloomfist Lizard Will. It'll come. Don't worry. My men at arms are activating, and they are going to swing away. A la signs.
Let's see.
Do it. You are
Um,
Meryl.
And they are equipped
First-
with a hand weapon, if I remember right.
Yes. This.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, hand weapon. So 2/2. Fizz is 7. Burst
Alright.
is 2. 2 burst.
It is 3 because they are a 3-man squad.
Okay, well, I flipped an 8 first, so that doesn't do it. And then I
Alright.
flipped a 3, so that does.
Yes.
The 3, their power is 2, so not great. That's 5.
Oh,
This is against
if it
Ben's.
says 2, it's been bumped up to 3.
Okay, it's been 3, so it's 6. Ben's archers, his marksmen, have 2 armor. So let's go ahead and flip that. That's 7. I'm going to make him push his luck. I haven't done that yet. That's a 9. Okay.
Alright.
I would like to hit him again.
Do it.
Okay.
That man again.
At what point do I reshuffle the chaos deck?
If you have 5 cards or fewer. After
5 or
turns.
fewer. I'm just going to turn those at like 50 degrees so I know. 50 degrees, 90 degrees. Flip 1 card, a 5 that will hit.
Yeah.
My men at arms have +3 power.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's 8. All right, Ben. Now let's see if your archers can survive.
They can. They're the best archers in the
They
universe.
have 2 armor. I don't know, man.
They've
A
been-
lot of
they've
high
been
numbers have been
solid.
pulled. It is 3. They cannot.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So
2 damage, right?
Yeah, one of them just gets deleted.
Another one bites the dust. Another one
Okay.
bites the bloom.
The bloom, yeah, the bloom.
Okay, so that's it. So Archer's down to 1 guy now. I feel better about the loss of my thing. I mean, not really, but
you know that one archer is just gonna like decimate everyone on the table.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
He looks ready.
Would he like to try now? He can't. He can't actually try now. You just have your guys up north to play through. Where'd you like to go? You have your Thane as an ace, or your Levy, your squad of polearm bros as your.
I'll probably do my Thane. I think my main dude.
Okay, I'll play
Your
the
main
ace of
Thane.
hearts. Where would you like him to go?
I want to go and fight that guy that's near him.
Do you want to fight the guy in the cemetery, or do you want to try to grab the objective token?
Let's fight the guy in the cemetery.
I don't think you can reach him.
Well, what happens if you climb the wall?
There's some rocks over here, but
Yeah.
Okay, so it would take 3 inches to get to the wall, 3 inches over.
Connor, I love this table, by the way.
Another 2 inches. Thank you. You know, we do our best here at Blacksite Studios for terrain needs. It'll be nice when we get the official like demos and stuff in here early next month. Okay, Ben, you can engage him. You cannot actually attack.
I guess I'll go for the objective then. You know,
I have moved.
I guess I'll just play the game.
I did move that guy. So I did need to play one king. I see what's happened here. Okay. Okay, so we'll move 4 inches puts you within the objective.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like
Yeah,
to
the
prepare?
lighting actually is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll do. I'll try prepare.
Okay. Prepare is a willpower or skill test?
Skill test. Yeah.
Skill test. That is Ben's Thane, who has a skill of 5. Flipping this
Fun bit of
over,
trivia.
it is a 9. Does
Ooh.
not happen.
And
you
no
say some
more luck
trivia?
pushing.
Is there some trivia that you have for us?
Yeah, the prepare skill only exists because at the time I realized that the skill stat had the fewest number of things associated with it.
Mm,
So
like
it was
that.
it was intended to balance out to give more people a reason to dump into the skill stat apart from ranged fighters.
I see. Because at this point, that he could have used some more skill to prepare himself, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move my cleric. This camera out a little bit. Gonna move my cleric up 4 inches.
Engage.
Around here. And then probably up and over, right around there. I'll count that as 3. Cool. That is it. Ben, your turn. You have 3 cards. You have your jacks. You have this guy could move again. Your thing that just moved, or you have 2 activations for your polearm bros.
Yeah, I want to do my polearm guys. I want to get them.
Playing the Jack of Hearts. Where are they going?
Can I get into combat with anyone?
Not this round, but you could
Yeah.
move and prepare for the next one. I think.
Yeah, that's. I want to do that. Yeah.
I'll prep you for combat. Them up. Form a bit of like a little blockade here with your polearm guys. Nice camera shot of what's about to go down.
Yeah.
Ooh, here we go. Right there. Cool. That is their turn. You have your Thane in the back, your polearm boys right there, and my cleric hunched over, preparing to take the hit. Speaking of my cleric, I am not going to move him. I'm going to move my knight. Boom. Nope. Which one is which? The cleric is that guy. Right. I'm going to move my cleric, JK. King of Spades. Right there. And he is reveal right off here to the right. Boom. Got him. Tricked him. He's engaging. He's just running straight in. This guy doesn't care. This guy has no fear.
Wow.
Get in there.
Yeah, he moves in. Does he have like spells to cast? Actually,
Don't think we gave him any.
okay, because his physical is not good. But you know what? He's going for it. He's going for it.
Yeah.
He's going. His fizz is 5. He is swinging away right now. It is a 10. Can I push my luck on that?
Yeah, you've only pushed your luck once, right?
Boom, 2 hits. Okay.
All right.
My power is 4, so +2, that's 6. Then your levy has 2 armor. 6 + 2 is 8. I cannot force you to push your luck. I've done that twice now. So they tank the shot. They don't care.
Yep.
Just a bunch of bros tanking some shots.
Okay. Who would you like to activate now?
I can activate the levy again, right?
The levy or your
Yeah, but the levy is in
your
combat
thing.
basically already, so I
Correct.
want to activate them.
Okay, they're just gonna.
I'm gonna
Okay.
strike back.
All right. Your levy. Fizz is 8. That's not great. Rolled a 6. No crit. 6 + 4 power is 10. My cleric has 1 armor. Gonna flip that. That's 5.
Give him
That's
the chair.
6. Oh yeah. So how much damage did they do? They do 2 damage. Didn't even need to use the burst or anything.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cleric is. Oh wait, I have a shield though. What does a
Yes.
shield give me?
Real quick, what weapon are they equipped with?
A pole arm.
They have a
Okay.
pole arm.
Okay, so a pole arm has piercing, so piercing ignores armor values, with the exception of a gambeson. So even if you have a shield,
Yeah.
a shield would normally give him a +2 armor bonus in this situation, but
Right.
because of the piercing,
So
goes right.
in my attempt to clarify that maybe he wasn't killed, he is now extra killed.
Oh yeah, if 2 damage is enough to kill him dead, then he is
No,
super
it's
dead.
not. It's not enough. But he's bleeding out.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I guess Ben, that was one attack.
Let's go again.
Are they cumbersome? No, they're not. Yeah, they can hit
yeah.
again.
It is a simple spear, so they are not cumbersome.
Pulled a 10 as the last before 5 cards.
Okay.
So that does not hit with his fizz of 8. Do I shuffle or do I pull the 5th card?
Shuffle and then continue.
Okay. So it's a 10. You have a burst of 2. So you have one more chance to hit. Correct?
Well, do they have 3 models?
They do have 3. So a burst of 3.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Just dropping my phone on my
Great.
desk.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's fine.
I have shuffled, and it is a 9, which still doesn't hit.
Ooh, buddy. Okay.
Swing and a miss, Levy.
Yeah, swing and
Levi.
miss. Three stabbies that do not, in fact, stabby.
Man, sucks to be those guys right now.
Burst 3 against the phone, yes.
Okay. Last person for me. Last of round 1. Pulling my queen, my knight. Switch over to this sheet for my knight.
Mhm.
See. Okay, my knight's kind of. Oh yeah, that's right. He's got a bludgeoning hammer, so he's gonna engage on this guy right here. This guy with his bludgeoning orb. He's ready to go for it. Fizz 7. It is a 10. That doesn't hit. He has a burst of 3.
Yep.
So I can keep going.
Yep.
6. I'll take a 6. Power of 4. That's 10 power against your levy, Ben. Your levy's got 2 arm. Well, a 6 plus 2 is 8. Does not save.
So one dude just gets.
I do. How much damage does my knight do? 2 damage. Yeah, so this dude just gets bludgeoned by the orb, man.
Goodbye. Guy just
Just caved in.
caved his head in.
All right, Ben, last activation for this round. You have your ace.
I'm
Your
gonna do the
Thane.
guy in the back there. He's gonna. Can I
Hammer, bro.
Can I secure that objective? Or do I have to
You just have to be within 4 inches. So you can stay by the objective, or you could try to kill my cleric.
Okay. I'll try and kill your cleric because
Yeah.
do it for the memes, right?
I do think. Yeah, you can easily get within half an
Let's
inch
go.
there.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
He is getting in. That focus down here.
I woke up and I chose violence today. So actually, both Connor and I did.
Yeah. Okay, so he moves in. That is your. Wait, that's not a thing. That's a wizard. He has a lightning bolt. What's happened here? No,
you're
Bill, the wizard.
You're looking at the Taiga clan.
Okay, all right. So he is the thing, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so he is the thing, and he is Fizz 7. Fizz 7 here. It is an 8, so that doesn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
All right.
Was that his only burst? I forget.
Oh, I forget that burst is a thing. Nope, he's got another one. Gonna pull again. It is a 5. That one hits. Corey, you're killing me, man.
Sorry, man.
Literally. 5 plus 4 is a 9. My armor with who is these boys?
Who is?
These are my.
That's your knight, right?
That is no, that's my cleric who's he's
Oh, your
attacking.
cleric. Oh,
So that thing has a piercing, so it ignores armor values. So a 6, that's not gonna do it. It is not. Thane does 2 damage, and my cleric is downed.
okay. But not forgotten.
No, and there's a chance, right? So
Grab
Oh yeah.
contingent for
okay.
life.
Oh wait, we points bitter decimation.
Yeah. Did anybody get completely knocked out in one activation?
No, everything took 2 to down them,
Mhm.
Okay.
at least.
So-
So neither of those got used. You really have to like hit pretty hard for that. Then
It's possible. It's just not
Yeah.
super likely, right?
Yeah.
you really have to play your deck. Okay, let us read these objectives here.
Yeah.
So there's each quadrant. It's based on model count, not face
Yeah,
card
it's
count.
based on model count, and I believe actually, if we look at the little reference card we've got,
Yeah.
that should tell you what the proper end game, or sorry, end of round sequence is, because you do place a banner at the end of the round, and that might
Oh,
determine
Oh.
things.
let me. Okay. Nope, not that one. Here.
Yeah.
We have activating place banners. Conquest phase. Place banners. Okay.
So that's the first thing. So, beginning with the attacker, you get to place a banner within a sphere of influence of a living solo model you have, a not down solo.
So for me,
And
I can only place one up here.
okay,
As-
no, it's within sphere of influence, so it's within their
Oh,
willpower in inches.
an inch is 6. Okay, and this gives me like extra points here. Is that where I'm going with that?
It behaves like a model for the purposes of controlling quadrants or holding objectives. And if you have a downed model within 4 inches of that banner, they can attempt to second wind and get back up.
I see. Okay, so I'll put a banner right back here.
Okay.
I should stack that. Ben, your banner. You should put it down here in the south to contest this quadrant, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
Okay. Just one banner per side?
Yes.
All right. Reclaim court cards.
Yes. So all the court
Oh.
cards you've played, they go back to your hand.
Let's see. Whoa. Okay, here we go.
Phone
Doing
down.
it.
Oh, pen down. Oh, dear.
Yep. No,
Camera
we're
down.
good. We're good. Cool. Court cards have been reclaimed.
Yes.
Shuffle the chaos deck again at the end of the round.
Yep.
And then score the points.
Yep.
Okay, so banners behave as models. In the case of a
Yep.
tie, does neither party get it?
Correct. The objective requires you to have more. So if you have the same amount, then it doesn't trigger.
All right, so let's go first quadrant up here. There is no models within that quadrant, so no one gets it.
Correct.
Second quadrant, there is do down models count?
They do not. They have to be
They do not.
conscious.
All right, so Ben takes a point for the second quadrant.
Very nice.
I'm the
Third
best.
quadrant, we tie, no points. Fourth quadrant has no people in it, no points. Now let's look at the
Yes.
objectives. This has no one within 4 inches, no points.
Mhm.
This is a tie between 3 and 3, including the banner, no points. And
Yes.
over here, we have 2 and 3. I shouldn't have put my banner there. I should have put it down there. Which means Ben gets another point for that objective. So Ben comes out of that round with 2 points. I have 0 and a dead Thane.
Rip.
Not feeling great.
You're off to an interesting start.
I think one would say that I am better at this game than you.
Well, you
The
listen.
math
If
doesn't lie.
if
math
I had me flipping cards as well as I roll dice, then I do wonder, perhaps, if there's, you know,
That's true.
um,
Yeah, who is playing? Are you just playing a game against yourself right now?
as much as I say I dislike solo games, that is my life at this point.
That's true. That's true.
All right,
Um,
so that's round
that
one.
cool. Yeah,
Wrapped up
I
the
think
combat
that
there.
I think that pretty much really shows off a lot of the mechanics and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think we're probably not going to play anymore, right? We'll just show that one round and then
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was expecting, was only to show off a round. I would in a future stream like to show off how spellcasting works, how to
Yes.
build with spellcasting in general. I'll probably do a like a pre-con that shows it off in a future stream so that we can hit the ground running.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, thank you to everyone who tuned in and stuck around for the entire round of YAFSIGA. I appreciate it.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I think
Yeah.
you've written a really, really clean, fun game here, Corey. I think
Thank
it's
you.
I think that there's a lot of like we were saying earlier, like there's a lot of scope for people to use their existing collections in it. I
Mhm.
think that some of the mechanics are really really unique and interesting. I think it's actually like kind of competitive. Like I think if
Mhm.
you like that sort of like, I think you can play it fairly competitively.
Yeah.
That's at least how it feels to me right now. But
It is
yeah,
it
I think
is physically and mentally engaging in a certain way. Like
yeah,
just from having a deck of cards in your hand choose from, which is like a real basic
Mhm.
level of like tactile engagement,
Yeah.
to trying to think, okay, there's only 2 or 3 cards left in the chaos deck. I feel like there's been a lot of 10 so far, sort of idea. Like there's a lot of facets that as I'm playing, because I've only ever played through Tabletop Simulator until this point. We're like
Yeah.
now having minis in hand and banners in hand and cards in hand. I'm like, oh, there's something going on here. There's a spark of joy. Marie Kondo would not want me to throw this one out. That is for sure.
I love that.
Thanks, Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are really deep in like the weeds with developing this right now. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that like we've really just showed you guys like just the tip of the iceberg here with this stream tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to be streaming more of it. You're going to start to see us post a lot more about it over the coming weeks into May. And obviously, as soon as we drop the actual official date, I think you're going to see a hell of a lot more. I've gone ahead and I've made a channel for it in our Discord.
Mhm.
So if you are in our Discord, then you will post some of the images and there'll be some little previews and stuff there. And obviously, if you have any questions at all, Corey is also in the Discord. He goes by Kosu,
Yeah.
and he's always around. And obviously, all of us are around too. And you can get some questions answered there. But yeah, I think honestly, I think it's a lot of fun. Fantasy, I mean, I'm a sucker for this type of skirmish game. Especially on a 2x2 table.
Yes.
It was crazy how many people came up to us at Adepticon and they're like, "I love 2x2 table games. It's like so cool. I can
Yeah.
literally just play it on my coffee table." So
I think more coffee table war games need to exist in general.
yeah, I agree.
feel like
There's also something more coffee table about having a deck of cards too. Like it's not the kind of card like Lunar, especially towards the end of a campaign. You need a coffee table for just your units. It's just a real reality of the game.
Yeah, you've got a lot of gear and stuff that you need to sort
But
through.
having like a deck of cards, kind of pared down to the simplicity, but using the leverage of what the poker deck actually exists as, with a random number generator, resetting each round. I think again, there's something that's sparking joy here. I'll have to do some thinking about it.
Sure.
It's suspicious.
If
I'm
I know
suspicious
Connor,
of things I like.
yeah, if I know Connor, he's gonna get deep into this. And
Yeah,
then
I'd
next
love to.
time
I'd love
we
to.
play,
Now that I've passed off the document, Connor, I'd love to see what you come up with list building wise, and see just kind of. I know Doug's got some testing planned that he's gonna
Yeah.
try to break the game. So
Doug is an interesting guy. wonder if he's here. I don't know if I've ever vocalized this to him, where he plays for fun, and I don't know if it's a background or just like a competitive streak, but when he wants to min max and like cheese, he will, you know. So I'm very interested to see where his YAFSIGA warband builds go.
Yeah, I'm
there-
really excited to get this in people's hands and see how
Yeah.
they like run it out, because that's the big test always when you're developing a game is like,
Yeah.
and we had this with Luna. People have done it with even with Don't Look Back. Is like people will just like break the shit out of it, like
yeah,
But it's actually really fascinating to see how people do that, because like everyone's minds work in different ways, and people
Oh yeah.
look at games in different, from different perspectives. So I think that's kind of the really fascinating thing about it.
yeah.
Um,
He's the guy
so
that when he decides he's not losing a round, it just doesn't happen, and it's like, okay, well, oof.
This is nice while it lasted.
well, look, Corey, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having
Matt,
me.
thank you for coming on earlier. I think we'll probably be streaming this again sooner rather than later.
Yes.
And we've got a lot of really exciting things planned between now and I would say the end of May, early June. There is so much cool stuff coming out
Yeah,
from us
absolutely.
here at. We've got Luna expansion. It's currently called Luna 1.5, but that's not the final name. It's going to have a nicer name than that.
I mean, it does have a certain NASA flair to it.
It does, but it's
Lunar expansion 1.5.
The
Ganymede.
relunaning.
So yeah, I think honestly, I'm actually like super hype. And there was something else I was going to mention, and now I've completely forgotten about it.
Well,
It's
shot.
I would say we're going to be streaming. If we can stream next week, we really want to try and play Matt's Airbnb game.
Yeah.
For fun, and give that a bit of a whirl. So we'll see if we can escape the Airbnb. And as always, if you have any suggestions for stuff that you want to see, content you want to see, and just drop it in the Discord. The Discord has really become the best place, I think, for us to interact like immediately with people.
Like the best social hub.
Yeah, it's also like if you want, I would dare say, if you want like immediate customer service, the Discord is also like a good place to find us. It's just because like we all use Discord all day, so
it's so much nicer when there's something about the notifications as opposed to Facebook, where it's just
or
like so
even
much
email.
easier.
It's just like it's I don't know. I really like Discord. So if you're not into Discord and you want to get in the Black Site Discord, then that's the place to be. So I guess look at that cat.
Yep.
You got
Is there a cat?
Yep. I got
Oh,
one
shoot.
on the app right now.
That's a
You
good
want, you,
place.
want, you want me
That's a
to?
good place to this is the perfect place to end.
Get that fireside chat. Get that close up. Yeah.
Okay,
What's
okay.
the cat's name?
His name is Max.
Really, Max. Look
Say
at
hi.
beautiful Max.
Oh my god.
Max is a sleepy boy. It's a
Oh.
gorgeous cat. All right. Thanks
That's
everyone
actually a
for
really
hanging
pretty
out.
cat. Holy shit.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing us the cat, Corey.
Of course.
Thanks for writing this great YAFSIGA game. Guys, I dropped the Discord link into chat. Please join. I'm sure a lot of you are, and thank you for your participation thus far. Stay tuned. Like Ben said, we'll be streaming some Airbnb and much more YAFSIGA here in the coming few weeks. Really
And some
looking
Luna,
forward
too.
to it. And some lunar, some indoor lunar with some wacky low gravity, microgravity shenanigans. Should be pretty fun.
Crazy. All right. Well, have a good night, everyone. Thanks
Have a
for
great night, everyone.
thanks for
Thank you for
everyone that
coming.
hung out through the entire 3.5 hour stream. If you are one of those people, then you are the best.
Champions.
The best
essentially.
champions.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.